Welcome back, car enthusiasts. Today we're taking a ride through time to revisit the top 10 best cars of 2014. 2014. Back when gas was cheap, avocado toast hadn't achieved world domination, and the automotive landscape was, well, a little different. But different doesn't mean bad. In fact, 2014 brought us some truly exceptional cars, vehicles that pushed boundaries, redefined segments, and left a lasting mark on the industry. So buckle up and enjoy the journey as we reminisce about these automotive gems. All right, kicking off our list at number 10, we have the BMW i3. Now you might be thinking, Doug, the i3? Really? And you know what? You're not wrong to question it. It was a weird little car, but it was also kind of brilliant. See, back in 2014, electric cars were still finding their footing. The i3 embraced its electric nature with its quirky design. Those suicide doors, man, they were like something out of a futuristic minivan, and the interior like a Scandinavian furniture showroom on wheels. BMW was clearly trying to make a statement with the i3, so yeah, the i3 deserves a spot on this list, quirks and all. Coming in at number 9, we have a car that needs no introduction, especially if you're a fan of rally racing or just driving really, really fast on a dirt road. It's the Subaru WRX. This car, man, it's a legend. 2014 saw a brand new WRX hit the scene, and let me tell you, it was a welcome return. The previous generation WRX had kind of lost its way, going a little soft, a little too focused on being a normal car, but this new one, this was the WRX we all knew and loved. It had that aggressive, rally-inspired styling, that signature hood scoop that could suck a small child into the engine bay, and of course that glorious turbocharged boxer engine, just begging to be thrashed, and thrash it you could. The 2014 WRX was an absolute riot to drive. The all-wheel drive system, as always, provided incredible grip, letting you rocket out of corners like you were shot out of a cannon. The steering was sharp, the handling was nimble, and the sound of that engine, music to any enthusiast's ears. It was a driver's car, pure and simple. And in that regard, the 2014 WRX absolutely delivered. At number 8, we have a car that quite literally changed the game, the Tesla Model S. By 2014, the Model S had been out for a couple of years, and it was already shaking up the automotive establishment. This wasn't just a good electric car. It was a good car, period. The Model S was sleek, stylish, and ridiculously fast, especially in P85D trim. But what really set it apart was its technology and range. That massive touchscreen in the center console. It was like nothing anyone had ever seen in a car before. It controlled everything, from the climate control to the navigation to the sound system. And speaking of the sound system, it was incredible. The Model S offered an unprecedented electric range, with some models pushing past 300 miles on a single charge. And with Tesla's supercharger network expanding rapidly, range anxiety was becoming a thing of the past. The Model S was a revelation. It paved the way for the electric revolution that we're seeing today. Sliding into the number 7 spot, we have a car that's all about pure driving pleasure, the Mazda MX-5 Miata. Now, you might be thinking, Doug, the Miata, that little hairdresser's car, and you know what? You're not entirely wrong, but you're also missing the point. The Miata isn't about brute force or luxury or even practicality. It's about the joy of driving, the simple pleasure of carving through a corner with the top down and the wind in your hair. And the 2014 Miata, it was a perfect example of the breed. It was small, light, and perfectly balanced. The engine, a peppy little 4-cylinder, wasn't going to win any drag races, but it loved to be revved, and it sounded great doing it. The manual transmission was a joy to shift with short, precise throws. It was a car that made you want to drive for the sake of driving. Roaring into the number 6 spot, we have a true American icon, the Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. The 2014 Stingray was a huge step forward for the Corvette. It was sleek, modern, and aggressive, with a design that turned heads wherever it went. But the Stingray wasn't just about looks. Under the hood was a brand new 6.2-litre V8 engine pumping out a healthy 455 horsepower. That was enough to launch this thing from 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. And the sound, oh man, the sound. It was a glorious guttural roar that could wake the dead, but the Stingray wasn't just a straight-line missile, it could handle too. The suspension was firm but fair, and the steering was precise and responsive. The 2014 Corvette Stingray was a revelation. Coming in at number 5, we have a car that proved you don't need to spend a fortune to experience premium quality and performance. It's the Audi A3. Now, the A3 might not seem like the most exciting car on this list. It's not a sports car, it's not a luxury barge, and it's not trying to be something it's not. And you know what? That's perfectly okay. The A3 was all about understated elegance and refined performance. The exterior design was classic Audi, with clean lines, sharp creases, and that signature single-frame grille. Inside, the A3 was a masterclass in minimalist design. The materials were top-notch, the fit and finish was impeccable, and everything just felt well thought out. It was a genuinely nice place to spend time. At number 4, we have a car that needs no introduction when it comes to luxury, the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. The S-Class has always been the benchmark for luxury sedans, and the 2014 model was no exception. This car was the epitome of opulence, with a level of comfort and refinement that was simply unmatched. The exterior design was classic S-Class, with elegant lines, a stately presence, and enough chrome to make a rapper jealous. But it was the interior where the S-Class truly shined. It was like stepping into a 5-star hotel suite on wheels. The seats were upholstered in the finest leather, the wood trim was actual wood, and the metal accents were, well, actual metal. But the S-Class wasn't just about opulence, it was also packed with technology. From its advanced safety features to its massaging seats to its night vision system, the S-Class had it all. Driving the S-Class was an experience unlike any other. It was so smooth, so quiet, so effortlessly powerful that it felt like you were gliding on a cloud. Coming in at number 3, we have a car that's been a legend for over 50 years, the Porsche 911. The 911 is one of those rare cars that transcends time. It's been in continuous production since 1963, and yet it's still just as relevant, just as desirable today as it was back then. How do they do it? It's simple, really. They just keep making it better. This 2014 911 was no exception. It was, in many ways, the culmination of everything that Porsche had learned over the past 5 decades. It was faster, more powerful, more technologically advanced than ever before, but it was still a 911 through and through. The design was instantly recognizable with its iconic sloping roofline, its bug-eyed headlights, and its wide, muscular stance. But the 911 wasn't just about looks, it was about the drive. In the number 2 spot, we have a car that's all about precision, performance, and that unmistakable feeling of driving a finely tuned machine. It's the BMW M4. The M4 was the successor to the legendary BMW M3 Coupe, and it more than lived up to its heritage. This was a car that was built for driving enthusiasts, for people who demanded the absolute best from their machines. The M4 was powered by a 3-litre twin-turbocharged inline-6 engine that produced a staggering 425 horsepower. That was enough to propel this beast from 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. But the M4 wasn't just about straight-line speed, it was about balance, agility, and that feeling of being completely connected to the road. The handling was nothing short of phenomenal. The M4 wasn't just a track weapon, it was also a surprisingly comfortable and refined daily driver. And finally, the number 1 spot on our list of the best cars of 2014 goes to a true American icon, the Ford Mustang. Now, I know what you're thinking. Doug, the Mustang? Really? It's a tired old formula? And you know what? You're not entirely wrong, but the 2014 Mustang wasn't just another rehash of the same old recipe. It was a revolution. For starters, it finally ditched that antiquated live rear axle in favor of a modern independent rear suspension. That meant the Mustang could finally handle like a proper sports car, and handle it did. The 2014 Mustang was a revelation on a twisty road with sharp turn-in, excellent balance, and a level of grip that would have been unthinkable in previous generations. Ford completely redesigned the Mustang for 2014, giving it a sleek, modern look that paid homage to the classic models while still forging its own path. And then there was the engine lineup. The Mustang was back, and it was better than ever. And there you have it, folks. The top 10 best cars of 2014. Whether you're a fan of electric innovation, luxury or raw performance, 2014 had something for everyone. From the quirky charm of the BMW i3 to the timeless appeal of the Porsche 911, these cars represented the best of what the automotive world had to offer. It was a year of innovation, excitement, and a whole lot of driving fun. So, what do you think? Did your favorite car of 2014 make the list? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for joining us on this ride through time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more automotive adventures.